The Knicks have been very kind to me. They put me right in the front row. That's when I knew I was famous. When I have courtside. They put me courtside. And the black players won't come over and say hello to me, but they go over to Spike Lee or they go.
They don't acknowledge you at all?
No, I'll be sitting next to Tracy Morgan or Chris Rock. They seat you where they seat you, and a lot of times when I'm there, I'm next to Tracy Morgan, who's so funny, and he's sitting there, and like a couple of the players will come over, they like give him that bro shake and stuff, and I'm like, these guys should hug me too. I mean, what am I? I mean, I grew up in a black neighborhood. You know what I mean? They should know that. But I get ignored. The only guys who come up and...
What do you think that is?
I think because I'm a white guy.
You think it's a racial thing?
It's gotta
be.
be.
To some white people.
No, not that I saw. I want them to. I want them to talk to me. I want them.
I mean, Howard Stern is a legendary radio host. You know what? He's 69 years old. The average age of an NBA player is 26 years old. Think about that for a second. 26 years old. They don't know who you are. I mean, kids nowadays, Gen Z, millennials, like, they don't know anything about Howard Stern. And to be frank, Howard Stern is not exactly looked upon in the black community as a symbol of excellence, because he has a lot of controversial skits about using the N-word. If you do your research, I am pretty sure the average NBA player, which is almost about 60-70% black, does not know who Howard Stern is. If you're not a movie star that has a movie out in the last few years, they don't know who you are. So the idea that it's a black and white racial thing, no. Tracy Morgan, yes, I know who Tracy Morgan is. Now, I'm more familiar with who Howard Stern is, but even if I see Howard Stern, I don't think I'll walk up to Howard Stern and say hello. Just because he's just over there. He's just way ahead of my generation. But still, going to say bro hug, and that's a young man thing. That's a cool thing. And the idea that he went to a black, they don't know who Howard Stern is. I haven't heard anybody in sports, in pop culture, mention Howard Stern in over a decade. I think the last time I thought about Howard Stern was when it was reported that he signed this gigantic contract with SiriusXM. That's the last time I thought about Howard Stern. Don't listen to him. Or I think Tom Brady had an interview on Howard Stern. That's about it. But the idea that he thinks it's a racial thing, that the players are not coming to say hello to him, no, they just don't know who you are. Maybe Howard, maybe you should do something that they actually do care about. And they will know who you are. The athletes in LA, they go say hello to Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson is like 1,000,000 years old. That's before the generation. That's because he actually goes to the games. He probably talks to them. I mean, he talks to LeBron. He talks to Kobe. He used to talk to Kobe. I mean, that was a thing. He was part of it. Denzel Washington. Yeah, people like that. If you're a member of pop culture and you do something relevant to their culture, they will talk to you. Do you interview, people that they care about? Do you lend your voice to things that they care about? No. You just assume just because you have courtside seats. There are a bunch of people with courtside seats. Nobody knows who that is. So I doubt if it's a black or white thing. And I thought that was irresponsible. Because all you're doing is putting the Knicks players in a bad light. Or visiting players in a bad light. Thinking everything's racial. Come on now. That was irresponsible. I think that was clickbait. I think you achieved your goals. But you know fully well. You're a professional. Howard Stern, 69 years old. You're about to be 70. You're almost Joe Biden's age. No one's come to say hello. Absolutely not. Now, even Trump gets people to come say hello to him because he's relevant to the culture in some ways and some form. Trump goes to the UFC fights. So he gets people that actually want to do pictures. That's Trump. Okay? And if he can get people to take pictures with him, say hello to him, you can too. But all you have to do is do something that they actually care about. You have a freaking platform. Do that. That's irresponsible. I thought that was irresponsible. That's not fair to those players. Because I can assure you, as somebody who's on the sidelines of a lot of live games, no, there's a limit to who they actually know. And Howard Stern is probably not one of them. Regardless of how much money you have or how much fame you have to a certain generation, to this culture where the average age is 26 years old, they just don't know who you are, Howard. Oh, I'm sorry. Check that out, man. Questions, comments, and concerns. What are your thoughts about that?